Welcome to my super type A attempt at being Zen, the podcast. My name is Risha York, and I will be your host. If you are overworked, overtired, overstretched, overwhelmed, and just over it, you are in the right place. We like to say we are currently working towards Zen-ish. I'm thrilled that you've joined us. Let's see who will be supporting us on our path to Zen today. Welcome back to part 2 with Brianna Bell. Let's dive right back in. Thanks for coming back. I've been thinking a lot about lately how you can combine different kinds of stress release or therapy, whether it be physical or mental, to create kind of like a new approach to things, right?
Yep.
So would it be totally bizarre to have a massage therapist in the room with like a psychotherapist or a psychologist?
I think that would be interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
I think about these moments when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a former client and a friend. She's lovely. Her name is Brittany Deschanais, and she is a psychotherapist in town here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been doing these posts on Instagram talking about how, what the rules are when you're in therapy, and you shouldn't feel pressured into being vulnerable too early and all this. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's talking about this. I also wonder, we all have these walls up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And especially when we don't want to deal with our stuff,
Yes.
we want to back burner it, right? So we'll have these walls up. And I wonder if sometimes in order to bring them down, it's not just an emotional connection we need, or a spiritual connection, or a physical connection, or, a mental connection. It's all of it. And
Yes.
how do you provide that for someone?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because no one's like, hey, Brie, what should I do? I had this fight with my boyfriend. Should I leave him?
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure you're hearing stories about fights with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I wonder, I'm just spitballing here, but how cool would it be if we could create a space where you can be ultimately vulnerable? Now, that being said, and much to Brittany's points on her Instagram, check her out. You would have to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I think that'd be super interesting because like the psychology side of thing, that's not within my scope of practice.
Yeah.
So if you invited someone else into that environment where, hey, this person feels safe here, you feel like you can be vulnerable, I think it would help people.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've just been thinking about different ways to combine things to create a new way of letting go. I think for someone who is super type A, I'm also a little obsessed with efficiency, like at the point where it's borderline not healthy. Right? So I'm like, okay, I have my therapy appointment, I have my massage, and I have my chiro, and I have and then I think, massage is an hour and so's therapy. If I could combine those things, the things I could get through.
More time in the day.
Right? And also that sense, that feeling you have after a massage where you're like completely relaxed, open, and it's like you come out afterwards and you'll ask me, so how do you feel? And I have to always remember she's asking about your body. Because sometimes I'm like, really vulnerable and open.
Yeah.
But that's not what you mean. And so, and maybe it is, but I don't need to unload on you in the reception of your space on my way out the door.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting concept, right? That how our physical is connected to our mental, how our mental is connected to our physical. When I go to a therapist, appointment, I'm exhausted physically afterwards.
Yeah. There's a huge emotional release.
Right? You're
Yeah.
letting all this stuff go.
Yeah.
And I think that's also one of the biggest challenges for somebody who is super type A is letting things go, because we get very obsessed with how things should be, what our expectations are, what our priorities are, what our standards are, which can be truthfully impossible sometimes. And so letting things go we don't come naturally to that, right? We collect responsibilities.
Yes.
It's sort of who we are as humans.
Yep.
So when you go somewhere where you have no responsibility and there's nothing you can action, you are meant to actually lay still. Like I know some people who are super type A who have never received a massage.
Yes.
And to this day are afraid to do it.
Yep.
Where do you think that fear comes from?
I think people are scared to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think looking at the bigger picture, like physical touch too, that can be tough for some people.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone.
That's fair.
Yeah. The amount of times that I've heard like, oh, my husband doesn't want to come in because he doesn't want to be touched. And it's like, I'm not sitting here like hugging you for an hour.
Although that might be nice.
I mean, it could be nice. I think I would like that. But it's not for everyone. But even if it's just like a quick half-hour treatment, like it's something. And again, showing yourself that self-love. I think it kind of comes back to self-love in a way.
Yeah.
You need to do things for yourself.
Yeah.
In order to fuel yourself up again.
Yeah. I think there's certainly a good number of people who are super type A who feel, especially the super type A empaths.
Yes.
They feel very strongly that they are the last priority.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. I'm tough. I can power through. I'll
be fine.
I'll be fine. I can just deal with everyone else.
Yeah.
And so they're not used to putting themselves first or showing themselves love or scheduling that time. And if they do, it's usually, I'm not going to say usually, if they do, sometimes it's just a task on their list.
Yeah. Yes.
They're not mindfully present during that time.
Whereas if you do put that effort into doing something for yourself, you again fill your cup up.
Yeah.
You then have that much more energy to give to other people. Like you're more balanced that way.
How could a massage therapist help someone who's in that headspace who can't stay present? How could a massage therapist help someone remain present through a massage treatment?
I think if it's someone that has a hard time shutting their brain off, even if you just request, like have a meditation app going in the background, whatever helps you relax the most, like music. Yeah. That's a big one too. What kind of music do you like? What helps you relax? Right. Some people that come in, they want everything to be quiet in the room. That's totally fine. But I do find a lot of people when they have a lot going on in their life, that's when they're asking questions about me. They have something to focus in on and just, how are you doing? What have you been up to? Yeah. I like to think I live a pretty fun life and I have some exciting stories that I like to share with people. Like again, if someone comes in, the treatment's about you, but like if the client's asking about me, I'll let them know certain things. Yeah. Yeah.
I love to hear about the trips you go on. I always find that really entertaining.
Yes.
That's fair. So it's interesting. Do you think that so there's a great yoga teacher in town who I frequent relatively often.
Yes.
And what I love so much about going to her classes is she kind of steps you through what's happening.
Yes. Guided.
Yeah. In your body as you're doing it.
Yeah.
Is that something massage therapists ever do? Like, do massage therapists ever say, at this moment, I'm working on this, and this is what's happening in your body, and this is what I'm moving? You've done it to me a few times, but is that I don't want to say normal. Is that common practice?
Yeah, like every therapist has kind of their own way of treating, but I do think guiding people in certain ways definitely helps. Like, I haven't done this in a while, but there's a technique where you're face down on the table. I would put one of my hands kind of on the back of your neck and then the other hand low back sacrum area.
Yep.
And we do diaphragmatic breathing.
Right.
It's, you can do a few minutes of it. You could do a whole 30 seconds of it, but like me just guiding you into that deep breathing will help to relax you.
Right.
I find sometimes when I'm treating people's shoulders, like if you're super, super tense and you have a hard time letting go, sometimes, you know, I have to step in and say like, you know, is pressure okay? Like if pressure's too much, let me know. But like, let's try to relax this muscle here.
Right.
Sometimes people just don't realize that they are holding on to tension there.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And they just need that reminder, like, oh, relax your muscles. Like it has nothing to do with the pressure. It's, I need to let go.
Every time I leave a massage or a yoga class, I feel like my shoulders have dropped 4 inches.
Yes.
Like all of a sudden I'm like, right, this is how you stand tall.
Yep. This is normal.
Right? This is how my body is meant to be, instead of up by my ears and hunched over. And I wonder too, I mean, speaking of being connected all the time, but you know, a lot of the time I can work from my phone regardless of where I am, which is a wonderful freedom.
Convenient.
But causes a lot of pain in my back and shoulder. And so if I'm working regularly, I'm holding my phone up, and then that whole underarm and down the side and in my rotator cuff all gets angry. And so many days in a row of that, I'm not a happy camper. And then I'm calling you an emergency, being like, help me, squish me down, I'm falling apart. Right?
Yeah.
But that's really interesting. So do you think that massage, because some people, the idea of massage stresses them out so much they just but do you think that massage is one of those, it's like tried and true proven methods to relax? Like what's the difference between a relaxation massage and say
therapeutic
physical therapy?
I mean, there's definitely benefits to both. Relaxation, there's definitely a place for it. Personally, for myself, I find I'm on the deeper end of things, like treating a lot of injuries, all that fun stuff. But relaxation, like there's definitely a place for that too. Sometimes people just need that space. Sometimes just pressure wise, that's what they prefer. Like at the end
of physically, what's the difference? Like what's the difference between them?
On pressure, sometimes techniques. Relaxation treatments are typically on the lighter side.
Right.
Whereas more therapeutic treatments, you're getting to those trigger points. Fascial release, just more on the deeper side of things.
Right. Okay. And so you do this for people all day long, and you come home, and do you find that it provides kind of an emotional fulfillment to know that you're doing this for people all day?
Totally. Yes. Yeah. Like for me, again, being a people pleaser, when I go home and I make someone's day that much better because they're physically feeling better, emotionally they're feeling better, like that just makes my day.
Right.
I will get messages from clients, or we'll get emails saying like, thank you so much for what you did. Even just reviews that people leave.
Right.
On Google, like it makes you feel good.
Yeah. So it's almost like your job is a form of therapy on its own.
In a way.
So then if someone had never been for a massage in their life, but is now learning to do some self-care and testing the waters as far as what works for them, what would you recommend they ask for?
I would maybe start with a relaxation treatment just to get familiar with the therapist, kind of how things go. Like with every treatment, it's explained what's going to happen during the treatment. clothing wise, some people are just uncomfortable taking their clothes off. Like I'd say for the most part, people wear their underwear during treatments.
Yeah.
It's totally up to the client whether you want to be fully clothed or nothing at all, but like you're covered with a sheet at all times. Only the area that's being worked on is uncovered. So I think if there's really, really good communication between the client and therapist, like that makes you comfortable right away.
Right.
If it's a whole issue of someone not wanting to remove clothing, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. We get people of all different ages. We treat babies, we treat people into their older years, like I think, like mid to late 90s even.
Right.
We get kids coming in. Kids, that's a whole kind of other thing, but like a kid is not going to sit there
half naked.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that
it's
makes
like,
sense.
okay, wear your bathing suit. Like I have people that will wear active shorts and a sports bra, and that's totally fine. Like,
yeah,
you should always feel comfortable during your massage treatment.
Yeah.
If a massage seems scary to people, I would suggest seeing an osteopath. Like everything's done over the clothing. It's still the similar idea of you're lying on a table. They'll kind of instruct you what to do.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit of a different approach.
Yeah.
Which I think could ease people into massage therapy.
Right.
A little bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you have many clients that just struggle to sit still for the hour?
Sometimes.
What do you do in those scenarios?
If it's a timing wise thing, like sometimes we just shorten the treatment. So, even if it's someone that has booked in for the hour, if you can only deal with 30 minutes, that's totally fine. We make it work.
Yeah.
Kids, that's
they
usually we'll book
long.
them in for half an hour. But they're all over the map. Blankets, sheets are everywhere. But you make it fun for them. It's like, okay, what do you want to work on now? Like, they'll hand you a hand, they'll hand you their foot. They'll tell you where they want to be worked on, and you go with it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What part of the body do you think provides the most relaxation when it's worked on?
Neck.
Yeah.
As number one. Kind of neck and shoulders.
Yeah.
The muscles that kind of cross those joints there. But also hips.
Yeah.
A lot of people store tension in their glutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always joke with you, and pretty much anyone who ever touches my feet, that I just want to make like an appointment for an hour where all I get is, I feel like I'd either fall asleep if I had like an hour-long foot massage, or be unable to walk after.
Yep. Feet is one area, like as an RMT, I'm totally comfortable treating feet, but from a client's perspective, people are either a hard pass or like bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of pressure points in the foot.
Yeah. So like reflexology. I have not had a reflexology treatment, but I would love to.
Oh yeah, me too.
Just the connections between your feet and the rest of your body. It's amazing.
Well, and my grandmother was really into that when I was a kid, and she had all those like pressure point things, and she did Tai Chi and all this stuff. And she used to always say the reason she wore Birkenstocks is because they were like properly supportive.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'd come in flip-flops and she'd shake her head at me. Yeah. But it's an interesting concept to think, something as simple as where support lies on your foot or a pressure point on your foot can literally affect how you feel, how you hold the rest of your body, how you walk.
Oh, it starts at your feet. Like if you have fallen arches, your knees are going to be knocked together, which then throws your hips off.
Right.
If there's any hip imbalances, it's going to affect the curvature in your spine, literally all the way up to your jaw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. How do you know? How do you know if that's something that's affecting you? Now I'm starting to wonder if all my arches have fallen. I used to have high arches and now I can't get my feet into anything.
I mean, with women, I feel like it's a little bit different too, because there's things like pregnancy that play into effect, especially with your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, proper footwear is huge.
All right.
Huge,
So no
huge.
more flip-flops. Is that what you're telling me?
I need to practice what I preach because I love my flip-flops.
I buy those yoga mat ones.
They're so comfy.
They're
so comfy.
And I live in them. And I mean, year round, I live in them.
Yeah.
It's an obsession.
Yeah.
But I also just love the ease of that. Slide them
It's
on.
convenient.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
I'm probably not doing myself any favors, truthfully.
You're preaching to the choir. No, I do the same thing. Like all the time. I have clients like, oh, do you get regular treatments? Like, oh, what stretches should I be doing? And I'm like, well, you should be doing this. But like here, as I'm telling you, correct your posture, do this, do that. Like I need to do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but that's just how it works. I was
Yes.
at a meeting with a bunch of other women business owners a few weeks ago, and I had told them I'd been listening to something that I had done for one of my courses, and I heard it. I heard me say it and went, oh, that's really good advice. Why am I not doing that? I gave it to other people.
Give it, but to actually follow through with it is another thing.
Well, and also just be, it's so easy to be objective and see other people and be like, oh, well, obviously this is the thing you have to do.
Yep.
But then to have a moment of self-awareness to be like, yeah, you too, though.
Yes.
And then do the thing.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, action, that's the biggest part of everything is action. If you're not actioning.
Yes.
Then what are you doing?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I think that's why I wanted to continue this conversation about my super type A attempt at being Zen, because, it's not, oh, I got there and now I'm Zen. It's never going to be that.
No.
It's never going to be that.
I feel like you're just constantly learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a journey that doesn't have an end. The entire concept really is a practice. It's all a practice. And so trying to find our way to a place where you have mindful moments and where you can be self-aware and where you can take your own advice and where you can hear the advice of others and implement it too, right? Because there's so many people who are like, well, yeah, great advice. And then off they go and they don't take it and they just go about their business.
Yes.
And I try and be really honest with people, especially health practitioners. I'll be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yep. And honestly, there's moments where I'm an open book with my clients. Like, I will give the advice. Do I always take it? No, we're all human.
Yeah.
Do not ever feel pressured to do certain things, but like, hey, this is going to benefit you.
Yeah.
Like,
give it a shot. Right. And
Yeah.
I think that's hard too, is there's things that would serve us that if we built them into practice, if we made them habits, we would then see the results.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So a great example of this is when I regularly get massages.
Yeah.
I have less pain in my body. I feel more relaxed on a regular basis. When I take a break, let's say like my benefits have run out.
Yes.
I'll see you in a couple months, or whatever it is. When I take a break, I start to feel it in my body. I notice the difference. I notice how I move and how I carry things and carry my body. Right.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the habit of being like, yep, I'm coming on this day at this time. And then when I leave, I make another appointment. Right. And I'm keeping the cycle going.
Yes.
When I have a really good calendar of all of these self-care things and I'm using it and I'm doing it right. And
you feel
I feel great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while we go through seasons in our life where we're overwhelmed by everything else happening to us. And so all of that self-care stuff, we tend to shove to the back burner.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's necessary and sometimes it's not. And we've just sort of told ourselves that it is.
It's an excuse.
Yeah. It's an excuse to be like, this isn't a priority right now. But what we're doing when we do that is saying we're not a priority.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then how's that going to affect you? Like starting over again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's why I've been telling a lot of, so with January just passing, a lot of people's benefits have restarted.
Yeah.
So I know what I plan on doing this year. Like, I do have benefits. I'm lucky enough to have benefits. It's not as much as, what I need throughout the year, but I figure, if I do massage in January, osteo in February, chiro the following month, you have something to look forward to every month that's going to make you feel good.
Yeah.
Gets you throughout the year.
Yeah.
If you need a little extra something one month, do it.
Yeah.
Like,
and most people's benefits won't cover a full year of treatment.
Exactly.
Like, really, in a perfect world, it's, I joke all the time because people will be like, oh, well, look at, I don't know, Jennifer Aniston. Doesn't she look amazing? Sure. Yeah, she absolutely does. Her entire job is to look amazing though, right? Like, that's her job.
Yeah.
And how many hours a day does she focus on, working out and getting massages and taking care of herself and her body? And she is her job.
Yes. Yes.
Right. She is how she makes money, which could be said about any actor or actress or whatever. But also, it could also be said about a massage therapist. It could also be said about a yoga teacher.
Yep.
They are their job.
Yep.
So not taking that time to invest in themselves and focus on that treatment can actually have detrimental effects on their business.
Yes. Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So you start to wonder, where do we draw that line? Why is it not as important for me as it is for?
Yes.
Right. And would I like to have the kind of money where I could have a daily massage every morning? Oh my God.
Perfect world.
How wonderful.
But that's the thing too, like, massages aren't necessarily affordable for everyone. Like, they are expensive. It adds up quick.
Yeah.
Like, an hour treatment is anywhere from like $100 to $120.
Right.
Like, to come up with that every single month can be a lot.
If you can't afford dinner tonight, you're likely not getting massages.
Exactly.
If you are, so if you don't have benefits and you have no coverage and you don't have extra money, you can't afford to do any of this for yourself.
Yep.
So then what would you recommend?
So it all comes down to, what are priorities in your life too? Like, that Tim Hortons coffee that you buy every single morning. Could you make coffee at home to save yourself a few extra bucks?
Right.
Treating yourself every so often is a good thing too.
Yeah.
Honestly, even just, this might sound strange, Georgian Mall, they have massage chairs.
Yeah.
Sit there. When I get a pedicure done, I'm sitting in a massage chair.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. If you are, so there's obviously a group of people who are experiencing a lot of stress all the time, who are not in a position to do any of these things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there a way for people to provide massage for themselves in their home?
Honestly, I tell people, look on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube. Even if it's, your partner or someone else at home, like even a friend, like someone that you trust, to say, hey, do you mind watching this video and doing this to me? The self-massage. I do self-massage to myself all the time. I have a ton of like jaw tension. Taking half an hour out of my day, like while I'm, if you're watching TV or just relaxing in bed, whatever it is, treat yourself. My
Nana used to have a tennis ball. And she'd roll her foot over it over and over and over again, then switch feet.
That helps huge. Also, foam rollers. I'm not going to lie, I absolutely hate using them because I wait too long. Like, I use it when I'm desperate for pain relief. But it feels so good afterwards. So foam rollers are great.
We have one. I think it was like $20.
Yep.
They're relatively reasonable.
Yes. There's massage sticks now.
Massage sticks.
Those are great.
Have you seen that thing you hang on the door?
Yes.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. There's also
like attraction. It's like attraction.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that, or there's another, I forget what it's called, but you put it around your neck and there's a pump with it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a blood pressure cuff in a way, but not.
Oh, wow.
And it helps to traction your spine.
Oh, that's interesting.
So same idea as like the door frame one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just different approach. Yeah.
So you work with these like other practitioners, and your goal every day is what?
Just to provide the best treatment possible and the best kind of working environment. Just great environment for everyone to walk into.
Yeah.
I love helping people, making them feel good.
Yeah.
Helping others makes me feel good. So it goes kind of hand in hand. Providing the best treatment possible and making a positive impact on someone's day.
Well, I certainly love coming to your clinic. I find it very relaxing. It's one of the few moments in my life where there aren't children screaming at me, or I don't have like a responsibility or something I have to do. And that separation certainly from, you know, my phone or my computer or my life, just my life. It's a sanctuary of nothing here belongs to me, needs me, is asking for me. I'm just here. I find that honestly immeasurable. And I understand how privileged I am to be able to have access to that. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly something where I've always really valued massage, and it's been something that has always provided me with a release that I needed, like that I really needed. Right. But it's funny too, because I think we talk a lot with people who have different ideas of what brings them relaxation. And my pet peeve is when someone's like, oh, just have a bubble bath. Because for me, I find bubble baths difficult.
Some people hate baths.
I don't mind the bath part. Now I'm trapped in a big tub of water, and I don't know what to do with myself. Like, I'm not great at being present. Whereas I feel like the massage, it's active. Something's happening. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
It just creates a different
experience.
Vibe. Right? Whereas some people are like, oh, I can't go and lay down and do nothing for an hour. And I was like, yeah, but is it really nothing? Or is your body, you know?
Then physio might be a better option.
Maybe, or ART. I do ART therapy, and I love that too, the active release. I love that. My chiropractor in town's amazing. I can't say enough good things. But that's another way to release the tension, release those muscles. Help. I personally find it better to combine those.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like if I can see you before I see them, that's a big deal. Or if I can see them before I see you, that's a big deal. Either way, it works out really nicely. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't had a massage, go out there, try one. Try it. Why not? Give it a shot. Once, twice. Maybe you'll get addicted. I'm addicted. You know, that was my first step on my journey to Zen, was going to spas, because I did not know how to relax. So I'm like, I'm going to go somewhere where their job is to tell me how to do that, or force me into it. Like, lay still. We're going to rub a bunch of crap on your face and like do stuff to you. Don't move. Okay.
It's a learning experience.
Right. And so I got kind of addicted to massage. And I mean, again, at the time I was privileged enough to have benefits and a lot of coverage. And so I could explore that option. But honestly, before that, even when I was a teenager or 20 something, I'd buy those face masks from the Shoppers Drug Mart, and I'd go home and I'd paint my toenails, paint my toenails. I swear I'll get that right. And do a face mask and like have a night where I'm focused on myself and show myself a little bit of love. And it's interesting. It's interesting. Well, thank you for being our guest today, Bri.
Thank you.
It was lovely to have you here. You're always such a delight. And if anyone wants to check Bri out, she is at Bliss Wellness in Orillia, Ontario. You can go by, make an appointment. She's really popular, and don't take my spot, but you know, you want to try and get ahead of it. All of the practitioners there are incredible. I've been to a couple of them, and my husband's been to a few of them. They're all amazing. I can't say enough good things.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming and chatting with me today. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to our channel wherever you listen to podcasts. Visit www.yorkmotivational.com for more information on my Super Type A Attempt at Being Zen, the coaching program, Lead Without Permission, or visit our contact page to reach out to Risha. Wishing you all continued balance and fulfillment on your road to Zen.